At 19:30 Moscow time, on the evening of September 21, 2025, a high-profile gathering unfolds at a lavish Crimean guest house, closely associated with Russia's elite. Inside, influential officials mingle, discussing military strategies, foreign policy maneuvers, and the next wave of operations in whispered tones. The target is the 40 Sanatorium, a private sanctuary where Russia's powerful figures escape scrutiny. Combined with proximity to state-run facilities where the FSB plots and drafts its covert operations. Neutralizing this site is more than a symbolic strike. It is a surgical blow aimed at disrupting operational intelligence networks and securing Ukraine's vital grain supply routes. By 1931, 3 miles from the coast, the Mudera eases forward and opens its bay doors. One by one, 6 drones slip into the water and then into the night sky, leaving the mothership to vanish into the shadows. But nature tests the operation. A sudden 20-knot wind gust strikes the swarm, slamming drone number 3, already weakened by a corroded antenna. On the cliffs, a Russian Spetsnaz operative sweeps the terrain with a $10,000 thermal imager, scanning for the faintest heat signature. A routine patrol becomes a critical event when his scope picks up a fast-moving contact. Moments later, a Pantsir S-1 radar battery near Yalta erupts with blips. Operators see a massive high-speed signature, the illusion created by the chaff.
In Moscow, emergency briefings are underway. Politicians, generals, and Security Council members gather to assess the damage. From a nearby airfield, an Su-30 fighter jet roars into the night, afterburners piercing the darkness. The plane is a Mach 1.9 Predator, designed to intercept airborne threats with devastating efficiency. Frustrated, the defenders unleash electronic warfare over a 5-mile radius, intending to disable the swarm with powerful jamming. Links go static. For a moment, the drones are alone. On the ground, Spetsnaz teams deploy kinetic nets and fire thermal-guided machine guns. One drone is destroyed in a spectacular flash, lighting up the cliffs, but 3 more remain on course. The Russian air defense network spirals into chaos. Millions of dollars worth of missiles and ammunition are unleashed into the night sky, each round chasing after the last 4 drones. On the radar screens in Sevastopol, confusion cascades into panic. Orders clash, radios crackle with conflicting commands, and the entire defense chain, from billion-dollar S-400 systems to the soldier with a rifle, freezes, uncertain for a few critical seconds. Out at sea, 20 meters from the shore, concealed behind a grain freighter, the Malata V-5 delivers its final command. A narrow, precise laser pulse arcs across the water, reaching the compromised drone and instantly correcting its targeting error. The air ignites with defensive fire. The Pantsir C-1's 30mm cannons erupt, spraying a curtain of steel at 4,000 rounds per minute. In Odessa, the operator's tone is ice cold. Fox 3, release payload. The drones themselves are mere couriers. Their true power lies in the shaped charges they carry. Inside the sanatorium, the celebration turns to horror. The thunder of Pantsir cannon fire becomes deafening. The warheads ignore jamming signals. They have no electronics to disable, no GPS to corrupt. Pure kinetic energy, guided only by the immutable laws of physics. By dawn, the devastation is undeniable. The $50 million sanatorium lies in ruins, a jagged scar on the once pristine coastline. The final scene is understated, yet telling. The Ukrainian operator in his dim bunker monitors satellite feeds of the destruction. A small, resolute smile crosses his face. Ukraine's ghost chain, forged in the harsh crucible of frontline conflict, had transformed the Black Sea into a weapon. The Russian Empire's apparent strength now seemed brittle, like a sandcastle on the edge of the tide. The drones relied entirely on instinctive navigation and momentum. Operators in Odessa could afford to step back slightly, monitoring rather than micromanaging, but vigilance remained essential. Inside the sanatorium, chaos reigned. Guards shouted orders, VIPs panicked, and Spetsnaz units struggled to coordinate a response. The first warhead hit the banquet hall's roof. Copper lining ignited, producing a superheated metal jet that tore through 4 inches of armored glass and the marble floor below. The fourth and final warhead delivered the decisive strike. The central event hall, along with secret tables, laptops, and stacks of classified documents, was obliterated in an instant. From the Odessa bunker, the operator watched every strike unfold with meticulous satisfaction. 4 green markers on his screens confirmed precise impact. Far from the wreckage, Russian commanders scrambled. S-400 batteries were useless against an invisible enemy. Meanwhile, the Mura V-5, the ghostly mothership behind the operation, had receded into darkness. Its electronic signature simulated a much larger vessel, drawing attention away from the remaining drones. By dawn, the scale of the devastation was clear. The sanatorium lay in ruins. Its western wall collapsed into the Black Sea. In the quiet that followed, the Ukrainian operator allowed himself a brief moment of reflection. Watching smoke rise against the morning sun, the lesson was stark and undeniable. The smallest, most precise effort, executed with intelligence, patience, and creativity, could topple even the largest and seemingly most invincible threats. The Russian Empire, once unwavering in its confidence, now confronted a vulnerability it had never imagined. The destruction of the sanatorium was not merely a tactical strike, it was a psychological shockwave. Yet the mission remained active. The 4 OSA drones, now clear of immediate threats, slipped into shadowed formations, awaiting the next set of commands. Back in Odessa, the operator observed with steely calm. 4 green markers confirmed each drone maintained its course, executing flawlessly. On the ground, Russian Spetsnaz units scrambled. Fires consumed the sanatorium. Alarms shrieked, and security forces moved in a panicked blur. The OSA drones now transitioned to their secondary mission, reconnaissance and intelligence collection. Thermal imaging tracked remaining personnel. The spread of fires was monitored, and any attempts to recover sensitive materials were recorded. Farther offshore, the Mura V-5 continued its deception. Broadcasting a false signature, it drew attention from Russian patrols, rendering them ineffective against the true strike force. By late morning, the Black Sea coastline displayed the full scale of the operation. Smoke and flame marked the ruins of the sanatorium. Luxury vehicles had been incinerated, and Ukraine's strategic grain corridor was secured. In the Odessa bunker, the operator allowed himself a brief, satisfied smile. The drones had returned to the Mura V-5, unharmed. The final lesson was stark and immutable. Ingenuity, precision, and patience could overcome overwhelming force. A swarm of small, seemingly insignificant drones had outmaneuvered the might of a superpower. As dawn spread over the Black Sea, the full magnitude of Ukraine's operation became undeniable. The $50 million sanatorium was reduced to smoldering ruins. Its western wall collapsed into the water, flames still licking at scorched remnants. The OSA drones had completed their mission with ruthless efficiency. Every designated target, the banquet hall, the VIP garage, the special event hall, had been neutralized. From his bunker in Odessa, the Ukrainian operator surveyed the aftermath. Thermal feeds cooled as smoke rose from the ruins, and the drones returned safely to the Mura V-5. The lesson was brutal and unmistakable. Wealth, size, and brute force could be outmaneuvered by intellect, ingenuity, and daring. The smallest, fastest, most adaptable tools, a swarm of AI-guided drones directed by human ingenuity, could bring down even the mightiest of empires when strategy was flawless and execution unerring. The Black Sea had become a proving ground for a new type of warfare. The ghost chain tactic transformed the environment itself into a weapon, speed, stealth, and intelligence shaping the battlefield. The operator leaned back in his chair, voice steady, reporting to his team. Mission accomplished, extraction complete. Outside, the Mura V5 melted silently into the shipping lanes, invisible and untouchable, its role concluded. The final image was small, almost intimate. The operator watching the satellite feed, a faint, determined smile crossing his face. The timeless truth of war had been reaffirmed. In the end, the swarm was more than a weapon. It was proof that strategy, creativity, and resolve can overcome overwhelming force. The ghost chain and the destruction of the Crimean sanatorium would reverberate far beyond the Black Sea, a testament to precision, intelligence, and the evolving art of modern warfare.
If strategy can outweigh strength, what does that mean for the future of warfare?